Please record. Okay. Thank you.
Did we start recording?
Yes, we are recording, hocam.
Oh, okay.
I'm recording.
Yeah, so today's, we would like to give some information for the whole program, actually, together with Dr. Nejati, and you can see one of our co-instructors, Professor Ibrahim. He gave you salam at the beginning. He also following us. Together will give some information. Is there any problem with the sound? Okay, now it is okay, I suppose.
Yeah, it is okay now.
Alparslan hocam, sorry to interrupt. Before we continue, I think we should mute every participant, and then inshallah we should continue.
Yes, it's good idea.
Yes, if you have questions, you can type in the chat. Then we can let you to ask your questions.
Okay, now I guess.
Now we should continue.
Yeah, we'll continue. As introduction, do you want me to continue, Dr. Nejati, or you want to start first?
Okay, yeah. So basically, we can give some overview. This is the outline. What we see on the screen is the outline of what we are going to do today. And today and tomorrow, it's basically joint session in which we're going to know each other, introduce ourselves, we will get some information about you, and we'll introduce the course, the program. And that's, we think, is very important for a good takeoff, a good start. And then we'll basically start subjects mainly on the third day. So, our objective here is today, after getting to know each other, we want to really address, I think, very important question of why we need such program, why we need to have a new understanding of science, and what the program offers for that purpose, and how we are planning to accomplish our objective. And I think that's really what we want to do. So, we're going to talk about against basically overview of the programs, and we divide into two parts. The part one will be program orientation, and the part two will be the introduction to the program and the topic. So we can go to the part one now.
Nejati hocam, can you please get closer to the mic because your voice isn't very clear?
Okay. Yeah, actually, use an iPad. So is it okay now?
Better.
I think I need to speak loudly a little bit. Is it okay now?
Better.
It's good?
Yes,
okay.
It's better.
So can we now again, who is in control of the slide?
Alparslan hocam.
I am continuing.
Okay, just can we move to the part one, the fourth slide?
So first, the program orientation.
Yes, so that's what we're going to cover today first. And yes, this is basically first we're going to start with introduction. So we want you to introduce yourself, and then we'll talk, I will talk a bit about myself and talk about other guest instructors. Yes, Alparslan hocam?
Yes.
So we're listening. This is now your turn. We want you to introduce yourself to us.
next slide, you mean, or just
No, no,
you want?
it's again, this slide is about introducing yourself. First, we need to know something about you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Alparslan Açık Genç. My main area is history of philosophy, but I concentrate on a variety of subjects. In philosophy, mainly epistemology, philosophy of science, ontology, and all other related issues, taken more in both historical sense and in comparative sense, meaning I compare these ideas in different civilizations. And at the moment, I teach at Ibn Haldun and Üsküdar universities. So this is all I can say at the moment. Necati Hocam, you can continue.
Yeah. So I think that maybe I can give something more about you, Apostle John, first. Yeah, this is again. My name is Necati Aydın. Basically, I have maybe 2-3 different area that can talk about it. You know, so academically speaking, economist. But I think that I begin to have interest in, you know, epistemology, ontology, and try to read and learn. And I consider Apostle John one of my mentor in this regard. And I actually enjoy reading his books on this subject. We have been working on these topics for almost 3 years. That it started as, I think, maybe even over 3 years. It started as a project under Gnosis Society. And then we basically work on a book that I drafted, but I think I call it almost, it was kind of co-authored by Dr. Alparslan as well, because he went through every single chapter and he wrote the foreword for this one, and the book was published last year in Routledge. And we are working currently on 3 workbook projects that basically aim to apply the methodology to science subjects at elementary, middle school, and high school level. And so we completed the first book, and we are working on the second and third one. And we are actually submitting the manuscript now to the publisher in New York. That book's going to be published. So again, this is actually the projects that we're working. I think the course, the program that we are offering, perhaps is the one that we spend most prepared. I have been, you know, many courses for over, I think it's like 25 years. I don't remember any other course that I prepare for that much as we prepare for this one. And again, basically, I consider myself to be a disciple of Alparslan Hocam on this subject. And therefore, I think this will be and I'm very excited. And I think this, inshallah, will be very fruitful intellectual and spiritual journey for all of us. And again, it's not we're going to have several guest instructors, and one of them is already with us, Ibrahim Hocam. I think he can introduce himself, and we're going to also have some other, you know, guest instructors as well, like Dr. Colin Turner, Dr. Yunus Chengal, and Dr. Barwood Abdulaziz, and Miss Nadine Kamal. She worked with us on the workbook project. And when we cover in last few weeks, when we begin to cover some practical examples on 5D thinking, then she will join us as well in terms of how we actually draft those applied cases. Yes, Apostle Hocam, do you want to say anything about our guest instructors?
Dr. Ibrahim is with us. I think maybe he can talk about himself a little bit also.
Sure. Ibrahim Hocam? Is he still with us?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
There he is.
My name is Ibrahim Özdemir. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I wish a very successful summer school for all of you. My major is environmental philosophy and climate change. I've been working on this subject more than 20 years. And 3 years ago, we prepared with Fazlun Khalid and also Agzam Baharuddin and with some other colleagues, the Islamic Declaration for Climate Change. Present, I am teaching at Üsküdar University. I was visiting scholar in Finland for 2 years, just past 2 years. And I am also Alparslan, Professor Alparslan is also one of my mentors. And I really hope you will enjoy this course. Thank you. So far, so good.
Yeah, also, we have two of our colleagues as research fellows. They will be helping us to follow up certain things as far as assignments and so on, and participation. If you have any questions and if you want, request something, you can always consult them. I would like them to say a few things about themselves. First, Hüsamettin Ateş, and then Muhammad Said Bilal. Yes, Hüsamettin, please.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hüsamettin Ateş. At the moment, I'm a researcher at Kingston University, London, United Kingdom. And my research is in social psychology, and it's intergroup conflict and conflict resolution area. And I would be happy to be with you, inshallah, throughout this very interesting journey. And the voice is yours, Said.
Selamünaleyküm to everyone. Welcome. My name is Muhammad Said Bilal, and I'm currently a research assistant in Istanbul University in constitutional law. My research interest is human rights in Islam and constitutional development in Ottoman Empire and human rights issues with international NGOs. Especially, I will help you with the theoretical approach class. I will assist Alparslan Hocam. If you have any questions, any help, you can reach me anytime. Yeah, I wish it will be a very good, very beneficial program to all of us.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we continue to give brief profile of our learning partners with respect to the country, education level, specialty, gender, and age. I think Dr. Nejati is more knowledgeable about this. If he can give us some information, we'll be happy.
Okay, yeah, we're really very happy with the great interest in the program. So we got 50 applications from 17 different countries. And so it's very, as you see, it goes from India to Germany and US. So it's a quite diverse in terms of countries, in terms of gender somehow, and in terms of education as well. And therefore we actually prefer to call it learning partners rather than students, because we all are, I think, students in the sense that we all want to learn collectively. And because we have it, almost half of our participants have PhD or PhD candidate. So it's basically, it means that the primary purpose for everyone in this group is to learn together. So therefore we prefer to call it learning partners. So can show some data on that one. Next slide, please. Yeah, So this is gender and education. You can see, so we have 25% female, 75% male. You know, though it's not 50-50, but we are happy that we actually have some diversity on gender as well. And you can see on education one. Can you make the slide bigger? I don't know, on my screen it doesn't look well, so you can put it on slideshow that we can see the full maybe. If you go to the slide gösterisi, from there and you put it in slideshow, that might be better because I don't know, yours is, on my screen it doesn't look good enough. So again, educational wise, as I mentioned, really we have a very rich and diverse backgrounds, and in terms of the disciplines, and in terms of educational level, and therefore we really we're very happy with things that will be a great opportunity to benefit from each other. So normally I don't know whether there will be any example of like this in any places. You know, normally in formal educational systems, we separate individuals based on their degree, but we'll see perhaps to have such mixed backgrounds in terms of educational level, it will actually give us a great benefit as long as we all are here to help each other to learn in this journey. I think that's great. Yes, is there a problem with the voice?
No, it's good. As far as I can hear, it's not bad. If anybody has problems, please, since we have the microphones off, you can send a message with the...
Okay. Perfect, perfect. Again, that the slides are, you need to put in a slideshow if you can, that will put in, you show it in full screen, that will be better, it will be readable. Because if you go to slide gösterisi at the very top, under this one you can choose.
That's what I did actually.
No, it's not. It's still, I can see, you know, on the left side, and I think it's not, yeah, it is, on my screen at least, it shows, yes, now it's better. But it might be, yeah, I think now it's better, but can we put it even in one screen alone, not two? Now I can see, you know, two different things, one on the right, one on the left. So we can show only one, that might be even better. Slide göster. Maybe you can do from the görüntü ayarları. Any slide göster. I don't know, you know, anyone who knows the Turkish version of this, that might help you. Yeah, I think it's better. Yes, perfect. I think that's better. Okay, good, perfect. So you can go back to look to show the previous slides, please.
This one?
The previous one. Yes, this one again. So we can see here, yeah, that's one. So we can see education level. So we have 40% with master degree, and then we have 12% bachelor degree, and then we have basically, you see, is 19 or 20% graduate students, and then we have around 30% with doctoral degree. And again, this overall 50% have either PhD or PhD candidate. That's very amazing, I think. So I don't really, again, I don't recall in any classes that I have been, you know, teaching in US, on Middle East, and Turkey, such diversity. That's really amazing things. Next one. I don't know, Apostle Jam, do you remember anyone of your class with such diversity?
I didn't check it yet, but I think it is very much mixed as the statistics shows here. The interesting thing is we have our colleagues also with PhDs, so I'm very happy, inshallah, they will help us also.
Exactly. So therefore, really, we invited our colleague to join us as well whenever they are available, because we actually think this is just a joint learning experience. So anyone who care about these topics and have the time, they are more than welcome to join us and contribute. And this is, again, so you see another sign that we actually have a diverse learning community. 17% says they have no prior knowledge on what we're going to do in terms of, you know, a new understanding of science. And then 70% says they have somehow, and then 17 says they have advanced knowledge, means they did some things on maybe summarization of knowledge or on basically epistemological issue related to science and religion. Next one. And this is also, again, shows that in terms of the interests that we have, again, mostly are taken for personal interests. And I think that is a good sign. That means that there's some things that people are genuinely interested to learn. And you see only we have 2 individuals, 5%, they're actually looking for college credit, which basically means that those who are, you know, in our community, they are not really looking for certification or for the degree. They are looking for knowledge, and that's, I think, a very, very good signs, because in education we say there is, you know, 2 types of learning: a surface learning and deep learning. So in a sense that when people are genuinely interested in something, that they will try to have a deep understanding of subject. But when the interest is about the certificate or degree or credit, then they might actually focus on just, you know, a grade. So in this regard, I think that's a good sign. And again, we see that majority, 66%, are actually considering to do research on this area, and they think that they can benefit from this course, this program, to enhance their research. And we have 34%, they are planning to engage in certain educational material, development educational materials. That's, I think, again, it's very, very good signs, very good. Next. Hocam, feel free to comment on them as well. So because that's my observation.
Yeah,
but I think
I'm following. So this is very good so far.
Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to do a review of syllabus. So in a sense, that's basically when we call about orientation, we try to know each other. We're going to actually, Hocam's suggestion was that we will, you know, hear from half of you today and the other half tomorrow, because we want you to briefly introduce yourself as well. But we'll do toward the end in the second part of the class, toward the end of class. So now we're going to, you know, make some a quick review of the syllabus, of the certain rules and the teaching methods, in a sense that basically we call it to put our house in order first. Before we start to do anything, we need to know, you know, what is on the menu and how we're going to cover those subjects. What are the certain rules or principles that we expect everyone to follow for effective and efficient learning experience? And again, the objective today is not deductive; it's mostly to, you know, introduce you something that we prepared, and we are more than happy to hear your suggestion and any input and any feedback that you provide that might lead to a revision if necessary. We're open to that one. But we have been working on this program for quite a long time and try to really prepare something that is, you know, rich and useful and helpful for everyone. So we're going to tell you what it is, and then we will be very glad to hear your suggestion. Okay. And so we're going to review the syllabus, and then we'll talk about the textbook, again, guest speakers who already mentioned, and then we're going to talk about their roles and topics for them, and assignments, and certain activity like in, you know, discussion forum, sharing forum. We're talking about attendance policy, and then we'll go through the Google Classroom as well, show you the Google Classroom. And then we will again, you know, are ready to hear your suggestion and hear, you know, if any things you have, you can, you know, type it on perhaps the chat room or share with us directly on suggestion as well. Now, I think we can go one by one in terms of the syllabus. So would you like to go over your, review your syllabus first and open your syllabus and go over it and tell us what is inside and what is the plan that you have it for us? Then once you're done, then I will go through mine.
Okay.
No, I think the syllabus you can get your syllabus from against the you can share with us on your computer, or you can, if you don't have it, you can download from the Google Classroom. It's already there.
I have it actually, so I can start. Let me see. So we can go week by week. So today we have a joint introduction, so we'll be talking about that, inshallah. And then after that, we'll be discussing the introduction of Islamic scientific tradition in history, because this is very important. In philosophy of science, there is a big discussion, huge discussion concerning what is science. So we will bring some of those discussions also, and then try to see how we can give, I would like to say, a working definition. So if we don't want to force our definition upon anybody, but this working definition should be a bit loose enough so everyone can use it, because anything that you discuss concerning sciences, you need to have a certain concept of science that should be definite, what it is, what you understand from science, what is scientific knowledge, and how it appeared in different civilizations. That is the first lecture that we will talk about. Actually, this will bring us to another topic, which is very important. It's epistemology of science. Epistemology of science is discussing, the mental frameworks that scientists are utilizing in their scientific activities. We should try to decipher those mental frameworks. This is extremely important. Again, it's important for us because probably, I don't know how many of you heard of this concept that is introduced in our century with a big emphasis. It actually utilized earlier, not so much, but some of our thinkers talked about manay harfi and manay ismi. So in order to understand this distinction and bringing on our emphasis on the concept of manay harfi, we would like to briefly discuss these epistemological perspectives concerning the science and the ontology that is utilized in sciences. So next we'll talk about that. So I would like to go a little bit faster. One more thing that is very important today. This was neglected by philosophers, sociology of science, which I call here with sociological perspective of science. So this must be taken into consideration. Sociologists do discuss this quite a lot. It was developed in the West, but there is a problem here. On the one side, if you go through the sociological approach, there is more emphasis on the sociology or the social aspect of sciences. But then the cognitive aspect is lost. When you go to the philosopher's side, they emphasize the cognitive aspect, the sociology is neglected again. So to give this balance, we would like to bring in this sociological aspect to the background of that epistemology of science. Now, another thing is that, science is not something that people develop in just one period of time. It's a process, it's a long process in history. There is a generation of scholars involved in this, which means it brings a historical perspective also. So this is what we will continue discussing that. And then our guest instructors in this course, Dr. Nejati will discuss Said Nursi's conception of science and its relation to other discussions in Islamic civilization, certain issues concerning knowledge and certainty. We'll discuss that. And then there is another topic which is very important. We would like to discuss that, the concept of nature. in Islamic civilization, how it was perceived, and how it was introduced to our time by Ustaz Nursi in his famous Treatise of Nature. That is the discussion we'll take. You have already seen the name Dr. Yunus Çengel. He will talk about similar discussions concerning, natural causes, forces, laws of nature, motions, particles, quantums, and so on and so forth. Again, as related to the Manay Harfi perspective that we try to apply, in our endeavor. And we have, again, as our guest instructor, Professor Ibrahim. You already met him here. He addressed you. The essence of existence, manifestations of divine names, the 32nd words, this will continue with him. And then the next week, he will continue 2 consecutive weeks. And then again, we have another guest instructor, Colin Turner. He will be talking about human nature, the way it was handled, the purpose of creation, what is the purpose of nature, what is identity, human identity, and so on. Probably he'll bring all those issues together. And after that, inshallah, for the rest of the semester, we'll continue with my book and then discussing second, third, and so on, the chapters. But today, I introduced, if you have seen our earlier syllabus, it did not exist, so I decided to bring a comparative perspective, and especially today in the world, there is a scientific tradition that has become global and which is coming actually from Western scientific tradition. We need to recognize that, its identity, its characteristics, and how it became a global civilization, and how can we evaluate it from the perspective of Manay Harfi. The course will end with such comparative discussions, inshallah. So this is the introduction of the topics in my syllabus. Dr. Nejati, now you can continue. Should I open up your syllabus?
Professor Jamal will try to open mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you can. If there is any question or comments about yours, let's people to ask about that. And while I will try to open mine.
So if they have, please send your comments through the chat room. Unless if you want to, speak and say something, you can raise your hand and say, I would like to say something, then we can give you the floor. Yeah, Dr. Nejati, you can start your syllabus.